a production of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. Visit us at mesachamber.org.
All right, let's rock and roll. And actually, this one's not a long session. So certainly I'm going to open it up for a lot of discussion on it because yes, media is important. Media is probably one of the most important areas of advertising, but the number of different ways that you can advertise through media is a lot more finite than it is when you're looking at like banner ads or other advertising mediums. So we can go a lot deeper in terms of the things that you can do. So start thinking in your head just some of the ideas that you might have to use media, meaning audio, video, and I've lumped blog posts into that as well, because really that's also a media channel. But let me real quick, for those of you that have not been following along all week, let me recap kind of what the first 3 days have been about. Day one, Marcus gave us a fantastic overview of all of the things that are involved in your chamber membership. So all of the things that you can do just as a natural part of what you've already invested in. And he's actually already edited that video, and that video is available on the Mesa Chamber YouTube channels for you to watch. So if you missed it, you can go back and watch it. Tuesday, I talked about sponsorships. So things like the golf tournament, things like sponsoring a room here at the chamber where your visuals are always on display, things like that. We talked about that. I think, is that video up yet?
I believe so. I'm double checking right now.
Okay.
I published it. I'm not sure if it's...
If you missed it, that video will be up soon on YouTube as well, so you can catch up on that. Yesterday, we talked about advertising, and advertising and sponsorships are not necessarily the same thing. All sponsorships are advertising, not all advertising is sponsorships. I guess is the best way to kind of summarize that. So we talked about that. That video is in process. We'll get that one up here scheduled. I don't know if we'll get it up this week or today.
Yeah, I'll get yesterday's video will be up today, and Tuesday's video is already up.
So we're rocking and rolling. So you guys can catch up for if you've missed stuff and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and real quick, I just want to go around the room. I don't think I did this yesterday, but I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. I'll start with my in-room person.
Woo! Tiana Klimzak, owner of Your CBD store in Mesa at Broadway and Power.
Welcome, Tiana.
Thanks. I'm new to all this, so I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my audience, my in-person audience.
Woo! I'll try to.
All right, let's hit everybody at home. Don Zimmer.
Good morning, everybody. Dawn Zimmer with Mesa Community College. I'm the Media Relations Manager there.
Fantastic. Let's see. I'm just going to, oh, you just took my list away. Felicia.
Hi, good morning. I'm Felicia Castro with AZ Hemp Health. Got all your CB needs and education with me.
Thank you for being here today, Felicia. Alice.
Oh, hi. Alice from Discovery Point in East Mesa, retirement community.
Thank you so much, Alice, for being here today. Kathy McMahon.
Kathy McMahon from East Valley Children's Theater.
Welcome, Kathy. Thank you for being here. Hang on. Chrissy Lenz.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Chrissy Lenz from the Neighborhood Comedy Theater, improv comedy. I am battling a cold, and so I'm pretty gross, but I'm still happy to be able to join from home. Hi, everybody.
Thank you for being here, Chrissy. Chrissy's been with me all week, I think, right?
Yeah.
Actually, most of you guys have been here all week. I'm pretty happy about that. Thank you for continuing to suffer with me. Who I got? Mindy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mindy Hall. I do human resources, and I'm with Tanya Lucan, CPA, PC.
Thank you so much, Mindy. And Sean?
Good morning. My name is Sean Coates, and I'm with Class 101 Mesa Gilbert. I'm an independent educational consultant that works one-on-one with high school students on their college and career planning.
Welcome. And did I get everybody? Did somebody pop in right at the end? Did I miss them?
Did you get married?
Hi, Mary Kaminska, your Avon lady.
Go ahead, Mary.
Mary Kaminska, your Avon lady. Avon is celebrating 135 years this year.
Good job, Mary. All 135 years success are because of you. I know that. I believe it. So for those of you that have kind of been with us all week, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate you spending the time with us and learning more about some of the deeper things that the Chamber can do on your behalf to promote you through different advertising, sponsorship, and today we're going to talk about media. So I'm going to have Marcus go ahead and kick up the PowerPoint for you so you can kind of follow along with me as I talk to the room.
We're getting there.
I know you are.
There we are.
There, it's good. You're good. All right. So what is media? Media are the communication tools or outlets used to store and deliver information or data. It's pretty simple. A lot of people think of it as video. A lot of people think of it as audio. It is both of those things, but I also consider it including written content, just simply because I think that there is, written content a lot of times will fall into a few different areas. I like to include it in media because I just think it's media, and I run a publishing company on the side. So for me, it is. Why does media matter? So just some real quick stats on media and why media is important. 41% of the US population over the age of 12, or 116 million Americans, can now be considered monthly podcast listeners. That's a lot of people listening to podcasts. I actually was pretty surprised when I saw that. Online video consumption is one of the most popular internet activities worldwide, right? So as broadband has become more available to the population as a whole, people are watching videos because now they have the ability to do that. I remember, I'm going to date myself, one of the first projects that I began many years ago was through a product called RealServer. And this would have been mid to late 90s. And you used to be able to stream internet radio through this server called RealServer. So I had a friend that lived in Scottsdale, and he was like, I'm going to start a company, an internet radio company, and I need you to start a show on this network. So we did. We actually started two, and one was spoken word, and one was one of our authors reading their favorite public domain content, just doing a show about each different author, reading some of their public domain content, talking about it. This would have been 99, 2000, and the bit rates on that were like 32 kilobits per second. So if you know anything about internet speeds, like that's super slow. So it had that tinny kind of sound to it as you would listen to it because the quality of the audio just was so not up to par. And we did that for about 2 or 3 years, and then he got bored and decided he didn't want to do it anymore. But now, you're streaming 4K, you're streaming 5K, you're streaming, like you can see right down into the pores of somebody's face through the stream that you're pulling off of YouTube. It's amazing in just a matter of 20 years how significantly the quality of the media has developed. And that really is the driver behind the acceptance of media, both audio and video. There's always been written content. So, the internet was founded on written content, right? So that's always existed on the internet. Now, mind you, in the 90s, people didn't necessarily understand the concept of design, so their web pages didn't necessarily look particularly great with those really super bright pinks and various challenging colors that you would see. But there's always been written content. So with the development of broadband and technology in general, so better processors, better computers, smaller devices that let people watch stuff, on the go, it's allowed people to access better quality content, which makes it easier for them to consume it. So we've become a culture that's very much dependent on the consumption of streaming media content to get the information that we need. So that's kind of the baseline, sort of the impetus, if you will, as to why we engage in content the way that we do. So media equals advertising plus brand building. So if you followed me all week, I've kind of tied in how these things come together to promote your business, build your brand, and advertise your products. So media, in this case, can be a combination of both your advertising and your brand building. So you can be out there with media, not only just creating awareness of your business and getting people to associate your business name with the topic that you want them to associate it with, you can also educate them on the products that you offer and how to get those products. That's one of the very powerful pieces of media that people tend to overlook. So our YouTube channel averages about 500 video views a month. We actually have 2 YouTube channels, which is, interesting to say the least. But we have our own, which is what we do with 500 about a month, 37 hours of watch time each month. But then we also run a TV show, which not any other chamber does, called Mesa Morning Live. And so we gave it its own YouTube channel. And it now has 2,000 views a month and over 207 hours of view time a month. So every month, people are watching almost 9 days worth of content. The Chamber's podcasts are downloaded 67 times a month across all of our channels, including Apple, Spotify, Google, and others. So again, it kind of comes back to that association, promotion by association. If you're utilizing the Chamber's media channels to extend your brand, to extend your message, then you're associating your brand with the Chamber. So you're kind of getting the benefit of the Chamber's status as a trusted resource in the community. So media is about connection. We create this content with the hope that people will watch it and then connect with us. So it's a surrogate, if you will, for us talking to them one-to-one. So we don't necessarily have the ability, like this morning, we had about 30 people in here for a coffee time, which was a great opportunity to engage each of those 30 attendees one-on-one. We don't necessarily always have the opportunity to do that. We don't always have a closed room where we can engage everybody individually. Media is our way to engage those people in what we can get as close to a one-on-one setting as we can to reach a wider audience. So when you think about how to promote your business, when you think about how to promote your brand, think about the fact that the media that you create is really an extension of yourself to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody that's watching and engaging with that media. So there's some important considerations. Whatever media you create should align with your business. And this has been common. I've put this on every single slide this month. So there are businesses out there that create advertising and they create media that's very entertaining and it's very funny and it's very, it's almost like it's not even an ad. It's almost like it's just entertainment. Not every business has that profile. Not every business wants that kind of engagement. So you really want to make sure that the media you create fits your brand, fits your business and what you want to accomplish. Go ahead, hit me, Pam. Did you have a question?
No, I was coughing. Sorry.
So another important consideration is the audience reach. Not just how many, but who. Again, another universal constant across all the days this week. Whatever actions you take, whatever you do, be conscious of who that content attaches to. Make sure that content attaches to the person that you're looking for to be a potential customer of your business. So be very aware of that. Ask questions. Is the message temporary or is it long-term? One of the things about, podcasts, one of the things about media, that's out there. Like once you put it up, it's up. Like it's out there for 10, 20 years. So think about how, when you create your media, how you frame whatever the message is. Because if you're creating a video that's about the holidays for 2021, you want to make sure that that video frames that appropriately so that people understand that it's only for 2021. So if you talk about the holidays in general, but you're not necessarily going to do the same sale next holiday, you want to make sure people understand that this video is only for 2021 and that they should come and find you to find out if that's changed over time. So question, did I see a question? No, good, okay. Does your customer consume the content in this medium? So we had this great conversation this morning about TikTok. So one of the things that we as a chamber have thought about was we actually thought about creating a TikTok channel, and we talked about it, and we were like, okay, so we want to we're thinking about creating a TikTok channel because we think it's kind of fun. We think there's some opportunity there maybe. But then the question came up with, well, TikTok demographic is like 7 to 12 years old. Not exactly people that are looking to buy chamber memberships, right? So it's like, are we doing it for us? Are we doing it just for the fun of it? And there's nothing wrong with that? Or are we doing it because we want to advance our agenda and move ourselves forward and get more members? Probably not the best way for us to move forward to spread the message of the chamber to get more members, right? So it's about understanding who consumes the content when you've created it and where you put the content for them to consume it. In this one, my last point, are you the best spokesperson for your business? Have the courage to assess whether you should be the person on that video. And you may be. I'm not saying anybody is or anybody isn't. But have the courage to think about who's the best person to connect with that audience member. Because I'm talking to them or I'm doing whatever with them. Am I the best person for that? So think about, are you uncomfortable talking in front of groups? Do you hate cameras? Do you hate being on interviews? All of those things, if you're not comfortable with those things, think about asking someone to represent you in that media, right? Because put your best foot forward. So don't be afraid to say, I know I need a video. I'm just not the best guy for videos. So, hey, Marcus, will you do this video for me? Don't be afraid of that because you can be effective with your message in doing that. Questions, comments, concerns? Very good. All right. Keep them coming. Super duper important, expectations. Again, this has been common all week. So you will notice there are a lot of commonalities amongst the presentation for the week, but it's only because these are the basic underlying pieces that you want to have in your head as you work through what your process is for promoting your business, right? Media can be an overnight sensation. So you could release a video, AKA the guy drinking the ocean spray with the Fleetwood Mac song, and all of a sudden Stevie Nicks and Mick Fleetwood have made similar videos of their own just to jump on the bandwagon because everybody's watching the video, right? But more than likely, media is a long-term investment. So you want the video out there where people are going to find it over time. So you create the video, you tag your video, you put your SEO on your video, and then you publish your video. And then it's kind of a let people know the video's out there, but it's really a long-term investment. So I might even be, let's say, for example, this morning we had University of Dubuque as our guest. Mike talked for a while about University of Dubuque. There are some people here that probably will go back to their office, go back to their house. They'll Google University of Dubuque because they've heard about it from somewhere else, and they'll start checking out content based on that to make their decision if they want to engage with Mike in a postgraduate program. So keep that in mind as you create your content. Your content is not just for today, it's for tomorrow. So even if you're going to promote the holidays, let's say, for example, you're going to do a 15% off sale from December 1st through December 15th, just for the holidays, for the fun of it. Great. So you create some video around that. You can still, even though that's a set timeline, you can still format that video and put content in that video that's useful to people beyond those 15 days. So that way people will know, oh, well, this is already passed, but she made sure to put her website in here. She made sure to say we're always doing something. She made sure to say, make sure you check this page for updates. There's things you can do within your media that keep people engaged in a longer period of time. So All right, let's dive into some chamber stuff. So chamber media opportunities, you can sponsor written content, such as a chamber blog post. You can create custom audio through the Mesa Chamber Inside Business Podcast. You can create custom video through either a recorded interview or participation, such as events like Mesa Morning Live. So we cover the three major media sort of avenues right now through different things that you can be a part of. Let's start with written content. This is, ironically, this is the newest thing that we've kind of formulated and put together. But, you know, we've always had a blog. So we've always had a blog on the mesachamber.org website, and people have always accessed the blog, and we've always put out relevant information for the community. And it dawned on us that, hey, our members are subject matter experts in their field. Whatever their business is, they are a subject matter expert in that industry. Let's give them an opportunity to share that expertise through our blog where people will discover it. And that's the baseline for this. So it's best for a business looking to build brand recognition as an expert in their field. It's good for a business looking to create a longer term impact on their marketing. So you remember, you put it out, it's out there, right? It's out there for, well, forever, basically, because, you know, archive.org. Anyway, but it's out there. So people will always have the ability to access that content. Some tips, and this is one of the things that I always try to tell people. One post probably won't cut it. In relation to sponsoring a chamber post, and the reason that I say that is because I describe us as the ultimate fire hose. We are constantly putting out content. I don't know if you follow our Facebook, but our Facebook is ridiculous on the amount of content that we put out. We break every social media rule when it comes to how often you should post and when you should post. But that's the nature of what we do. That's our job as an association, is to represent our members. So we kind of get a little bit of a pass on that. People get it. They understand that, oh, well, you got 900 members, so obviously you're going to post a lot of stuff, right? Not everybody gets that privilege. And not everybody, you know, should be posting as often as we do. But at the same time, for your content to be seen and for you to build that long-term brand awareness, you probably want to do more than one post. Because you can do a post about one subject, and then, you know, 3 months later, we've added 9 more posts ahead of yours. So now you're kind of down in the history, if you will. You probably want to come back and talk about something else related to your industry so that people can see, oh, yeah, they talk about this, and then they talk about this, and I happen to find this other one, and I can go back and read the first one they did. That's kind of cool. So it gives you a historical context to build on when you continue to kind of create content and share content. So, questions, comments?
I'm sorry, a question. Is there a fee for that? If it's sponsored, I assume there's a fee.
There is. Hang on, let me grab I did not grab my cheat sheet before I came up to the front of the room.
It is $125 for one sponsored blog post, or you get a discount when you bundle them together. If you want 6 sponsored blog posts, that'll be $650.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. We do also include a certain number of blog posts in different membership tiers. So if you are an engaged member, that includes a blog post every year. So you're able to just kind of pop a blog post over to us when you're ready at some point during the year, and we put that in. And then you get more blog posts as you are going up in the tiers. So certainly Marcus or I can give you more detail on that offline if you need it.
Okay.
So, and just so everybody knows, everything we've talked about this week, we will send you on a PDF with the pricing. So you'll get all of this kind of put together as our in-a-room people have had the opportunity, because I printed a bunch and put them in the room. So there you go. What other questions do we have on written content? It's really not that hard. It's what we do is we ask you to write something, about 500 words. It can be a little longer. That's not a problem. You really want to kind of play to the attention span of your reader. We can include a picture. We can include attribution information. So, obviously your name, a link to your website, your email, your contact information as the expert making the post. So we really, we want to make sure that people know who created the content and then how they can get a hold of that person that created the content so that they can follow up with them if they have questions. Really useful tool. It's a very useful tool. All right. Let's punch on to audio.
Hey, Bob, quick question. So you want the content yourself, you submitted not a link to a blog post, let's say on my website.
Right, so we would actually post a separate post on our site with, now that's not to say, Pam, that you can't write a summary. So if let's say the post on your site is really a long post, there's nothing that says that you can't write a summary of that and then say, there's more to talk about with this. You can read more here.
Okay.
Right? And that way it kind of can drive people to your site.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So it's a good way to, I don't want to say recycle, but it's a good alternate use of content that you may already have.
You're like the teaser.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like an extended teaser. Yeah. So, you can say, hey, this issue, here's some things to consider with this issue, but really there's a bigger reference that you can reference here for more details on that issue. So
I imagine you can also, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can advertise that teaser, if you will. For more information, go to blah, 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 and then see about a discount. So
yeah, I mean, you can, the thing about it is it's very flexible. So I don't know that I would turn it into quite so much of a sales piece, because you want to, the whole point of creating content, of creating blog content, is you want it to seem like this is informational, right? So if you end your informational piece by saying, hey, get 25% off at this, all of a sudden now you try to hit them with a sale, and that sometimes will turn people off. So they'll be like, oh, well, thanks for the blog post, and they'll just keep going on to something else. Now, if you say, you can learn more about this subject, and we'd love to talk to you, and then click them through to your site. And then on your site, you give them an offer that says, hey, thanks for following that link. Here's an offer if you really want to engage. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be very careful that your content doesn't become a sales piece.
You're discouraging that.
Yes. Because if you're going to do that, just do a hot deal.
Okay.
So if you're going to create a piece of content that's basically just going to cap with, hey, save 25% off, do it as a hot deal, which is also free. It doesn't cost you anything. And you can do it as frequently as you want. So, cool. Did we have any questions? Did I see something pop up?
No. What?
Was there a comment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pam was just saying it's important to warm them up before.
Yeah. Well, so there's a fine line between education and sales, right? And you really want to be cautious about abusing that privilege. When someone reads something you've written, that's a privilege. You've asked for that privilege for their time and their attention. You have to be careful that you don't abuse it, because if you abuse it, you're not only going to lose them in that moment, you're going to lose them going forward, because they're going to see the name of your business and they're going to think, oh, you're just hitting me for something. You just want me to buy something. So always be conscious of how you're presenting your content. Now, if you encourage them to visit your site, now they have gone in the next step of what everybody's calling the customer journey at this point. So now they're committed a little bit more to looking more at your business. So if they come to your website, then you can tactfully say, hey, thanks for reviewing this content. Here's a little bit more content because that's what you came over here for. And then if you really would like, we do have this offer that we can give you. So it's that relationship building digitally that's important. So Cool? Everybody good? My at-home people rocking and rolling? All right, here we go. We're doing audio. So, we've done a podcast for, I don't know, 5 years. And that actually is one of the things that I had done. Obviously, I talked a little bit about the internet radio stuff that I had done a year or two ago. But podcasts really are a fantastic tool to get some one-on-one discussion, or not even discussion, one-on-one talk. The idea behind the podcast, you're speaking directly to the person. So they're hearing your voice. You're choosing the words that you want to give to them. You control as much of that environment as you can when you're having that, I can't say discussion because it really isn't a discussion, when you're having that talk. It's an interview, so you pick the questions. You basically help us design the interview. You sit down with either Sally or myself. We do the interview, we conduct the interview. If you've listened, has anybody listened to any of them? Thanks, Marcus. They're pretty hilarious. Like, they're good, they're fun. It's not a emotionless process. We actually want people to feel comfortable. So you design the interview, you kind of give us the questions to ask, we ask the questions. But the idea is to get you talking about the things that you're passionate about and to get you explaining in your own words why someone would benefit from engaging with your business. That's the whole point. It's a very informational session. And then we intermix that with different episodes that we create. We might create an episode with the chief of police. We might create an episode with the fire chief. We might create an episode with, anybody, just to kind of intermix that and keep that content fresh. This is best for businesses that are looking to explain their value proposition in their own words. It's good for businesses that want to discuss an important community connection. So if one of you sponsors something huge, we just did this. We just did an episode with our partners at Mesa Community College because we partner with them on a fantastic program called Green Flag. And as an extension of that Green Flag program, we also partner with them on some app development work. And that's connected to the community in some pretty important ways. So we actually pulled in our connection with Mesa Community College. We had a great interview with her. It was a lot of fun, but it helps, in this case, not just Mesa Community College, but it also helps the chamber establish that important community connection through our own words. Business is looking to create a great resource for the public to learn about. So again, remember, once you do it, it's out there, right? So if somebody says, hey, I want to check out CBD, right? They can go to the podcast and they're going to be able to listen to you without being uncomfortable having you in front of them. They're going to get your message in the comfort of the way they consume content, which is important because how many times do we get uncomfortable when we're talking to somebody and that person's being a little pushy and they don't necessarily know it? So it's not like they're being intentionally pushy. But it's like, you really kind of want me to do this and I'm not ready to do this and I'm a little bit uncomfortable right now and so I'm going to back up here and This is a way for them to engage with you without them feeling like you're going to say, open up your wallet. Business is looking to create a great resource for the public to learn about multiple industry-related topics, so multiple episodes. We do this with Golden Goose Digital Marketing. We do it with the University of Phoenix. We do it with Encompass Health, and they come in and they talk about multiple subjects. So one month, we might have them talk about, in the case of Golden Goose, we have them talk about Google Ad Clicks. Then the next month, they might come in and talk about website building. And then the next month, they might come in and talk about something else. So it's a way to build, over time, a library of resources that someone can access. So I'm thinking, I need advertising. What does that mean? Oh, there's these like 5 Golden Goose visits to the Mesa Chamber. I can learn about each of these things. And if you listen to all 5 of them, by the end, you're like, what's Dan's phone number? I've got to call him. You need him to work for me. So it's a great way to build that library of content. The great thing about podcasts is they're very flexible. So if you come in and you record an episode with us, you can embed that episode right into your own website. You can send that episode right out to your email list. You can put that episode wherever you want, social media. So you can create, let's say you've done 3 episodes with us, you can create a page on your website that says, listen for more information. And you can list all 3 of the episodes that you did without any of the others, just the 3 that you did. And you can create a great resource and benefit from it still being available to people through our site. So you're getting sort of the plus on that. So does that make sense? Now, I will say, you get a choice with your interview. You can have Sally interview you. Sally is the CEO. She's $199. She's like our premier content. Or you can get me for a superior discount of $149. So, like, I don't take that personally or anything. It's okay. I don't feel bad about that I'm cheap. But really, I mean, it really does come down to, you can have an interview with the CEO of the chamber, which again, you can promote that, right? So I sat down with the CEO of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce and she asked me about my business. There's value in that. You could say, I sat down with the Director of Communications of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. And they're going to say, oh, Bob, great. That's an email guy. I'm kidding. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? How's everybody doing? Everybody good? There's a lot to talk about our media.
Yeah.
Whew, video. Oh boy, let's talk about video. Video is, undoubtedly, video is the way that people are consuming content right now, right? So we offer multiple different ways to engage and promote your business and message. Thanks to the pandemic, one of the few benefits that came out of the pandemic is we became Zoom experts.
Great.
Right? So you can, through Zoom, set up a similar type of thing like you would with the podcast. We just set up a Zoom. You could have a Zoom with Sally, and we record it. She asks you the questions that you want her to ask. You get a chance to talk to your business. People get to see your face while you're talking about it. And you really get a chance to kind of drive your message home in the way that you want to drive it home. And that's the overriding principle. A lot of times, like when you buy a picture ad or you buy a text ad, it's a lot harder to make sure that the message is getting across the way that you want to get it across than if you feel like I chose those words, I'm good, I feel like I got it across the way I want to get it across. So there's a lot more control. You can do examples, live stream. You can be a part of Mesa Morning Live, so you can sponsor an episode, you can sponsor a segment, and be a part of Mesa Morning Live. It's really a lot of fun. When we get back to in-person, we will have everybody in studio again, and it'll be fantastic. You can do the Zoom option, which, obviously, or we could just do something completely different. If you want to come in, we have a media room here on site. You can literally come in. We can set you and Sally up in the room where you're just sitting with each other and talking, and we record it, and then we post it. So it's a really great way. One of the best ones that we did, and it was super impromptu, when we first started to find out that there were going to be orders to lock down and the pandemic had really just started to take hold, we asked the mayor if he would be willing to come over and do a video with Sally. And he was like, yes, let me come over. So literally he came over, and I think it was even the same day. He came over, and you can watch it. It's on our channel. We put him in the media room. We just put him in 2 chairs side by side, and they just talked about what was happening. Very informally. There was no script. He was telling people what he was hearing from, FEMA and CDC and everything that was going on. He was talking about some of the stuff that the city was planning. She was kind of asking questions specifically around business. It was just a genuine, wonderful interview, and it really kind of drove home the value of a good video, because you can watch that and you can think, okay, he knows what's going on. He's in control of the situation. I just need to pay attention to what's going on with him. He'll keep me posted. And it built a lot of confidence. And it's one of the most popular videos that we have on our channel. But it's best for businesses looking for great visual content to share across their own channels. Just like with the podcast, because we use YouTube, you can embed it in your website, you can send it out to your subscribers, you can put it on your social media. And it's looking for businesses that are looking for a long-term discoverable resource. Same type of thing, it's always out there. So the way that you position the creation of that content can do a lot to help people learn about what you do long-term. So, questions, comments, concerns? We do not have a makeup department, no. Unless you want me doing your makeup. If you want me doing your makeup, I'm not sure why you would want that, but I suppose I would try.
Mary can do our makeup.
Oh, there we go. We have a makeup department.
Well, I can't actually apply the makeup, but I can absolutely supply it and give you tips and guide you.
We have a green screen. I don't know. We have green screen. You can green screen if you want, that kind of thing. Now, if you guys want to, and let me kind of touch on this a little bit. If you guys want to organize a video created on your own, so let's say, for example, let's say Mary's got a customer that she really wants to interview. She really wants to kind of share their excitement for Avon. She wants to talk to them about some of the products that they've ordered. If she just wants to sit with that person and talk with that person, we can make that happen. So that's an option as well. So if you don't necessarily have to have me or Sally as the interviewer, you can actually just be the interviewer yourself if you want to engage and create content that way. So, cool. Look at me, all every time. All right, so where media, advertising, and sponsorship overlap, again, this is kind of a universal theme all week. Using media to enhance your sponsorships and advertising. So one of the things you can do, let's say, for example, you are launching a totally new product, and maybe you've just joined the chamber, you're new to the area, you're not exactly sure how to engage the public. You know, you kind of are like, hey, I've got a little bit of budget, but I don't know what to do. So you can actually kind of build a whole like multifaceted engagement piece, combining maybe some advertising in the newsletter with a video with a podcast. And as long as you're consistent, your theme is consistent, your messaging is consistent across all three, you have the potential to get in somebody's sort of conscious 3 times. That's 3 touches. You know, marketing is all about how many times is somebody engaged with you or you're touching them. Touching seems kind of weird in this day and age, but you know what I'm saying. But it gives you the flexibility to bring your content to that person in another angle, another way, from another direction. And if your messaging is consistent, that helps build brand awareness. Because now they're going to be like, oh, I saw that logo on the banner, and then I saw that logo at the front of the video, and I saw that logo on the podcast page when I pulled it up. Oh, that company says that their tagline is such and such. Oh, I heard it when they did the podcast. I saw it when I saw the banner ad. I heard it and saw it when we were on the video. So it's another way for you to kind of reinforce the important elements of your brand in your advertising. So this is for businesses that obviously are looking for a campaign to expose and reinforce their message. And as with everything, businesses are looking for a long-term benefit. So don't expect that you're going to put a video out today and you're going to have 50 people lined up at your door tomorrow. It would be great, and I would love to hear it if it happens. Just keep your expectations in line on it. So Marcus is actually, tomorrow's presentation, Marcus is really going to dive into how to use these things together to kind of tie that all together. So I'm kind of actually prefacing tomorrow's presentation, really. All right. Accessing media components. This slide, I built it before I knew what we were going to do, so most of this slide is completely inaccurate. However, some of the elements you can actually just go online and purchase. So I think the podcast is online. So if you want to just say, hey, I'm going to buy a podcast, you can buy the podcast, and then we'll reach out to you and we'll schedule the time. You are always welcome to reach out to Marcus or myself and say, hey, I'm interested in sponsorship or advertising and media, and I want to talk about it. I want to know what's best for me. And we're going to have that conversation with you. Or the handy order form that isn't handy because it's not here. So, sorry about that. But again, for you people at home, I will get you a digital PDF copy, right, Tara?
That's right.
So that is, that's how you can access them. And really, we're going to want to talk to you about it anyway, because we want to make sure that what you're doing is right for you. And I'm going to reiterate the message that I gave both on Tuesday and Wednesday. If the money that you would spend on any of these things is money that you're not comfortable putting out into the world and letting it go do its work, don't spend that money. In other words, let this money go, do what this money is supposed to do, and not worry about somebody lining up at your door the next second. If you have a financial concern on that, use the stuff that comes with your chamber investment. Maximize that stuff. And ask us about ways to maximize that stuff. Don't feel like you have to, because we don't want you to feel like you have to go and drop a bunch of money on these other advertising and these other things. We want you to be successful more than we want you to spend money with us. Does that make sense? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that, because sometimes I feel like I'm like, hey, give me your money. Sorry.
Well,
All right.
the pricing sheet, I imagine it's online as well.
Pricing sheet will be online. There is a catalog online. So right now there's an advertising catalog online. It's a little bit dated. It's the end of 2018. Most of the pricing is still accurate on it. So if you do want to download it, you can kind of see where we're at.
Okay, so my question for you is that, because I have a hard copy in front of me, there's some lingo I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, go ahead.
Could you just explain what MMM email ad is?
So MML.
MMM and there's
Okay.
two different ones.
So MMM is Monday morning message.
Okay.
So whenever you see something that says MMM from the chamber, it's going to mean the Monday morning message. That's the email that we send out every Monday morning with the calendar of events for the next 2 weeks.
And the MML?
MML is Mesa Morning Live. That's the TV shows.
Got it. And IPNA.
IPNA.
Improve, promote.
Improve, promote, and advocate. So those are our newsletters. So typically we will send you, and most of you guys, if you're on our email list, you'll know this, 2 email messages a week, unless it's from me, in which case I spam you all day long because I love you all. But typically you'll get 2 chamber emails a week. One is the Monday message, so you'll get that on Monday. And then on Friday, you get a newsletter that's based around one of our core 3 tenets. Improve your business, promote your business, or advocate for your business. And each of those newsletters has content specific to that attribute.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else? Any other questions? You want to talk, Mary? I know you do.
Actually, I was just going to say simply, I'm trying to remove the word just from my vocabulary. I was simply going to kind of go back to what you had said about you can be an overnight sensation, or even your blog, you can put it out there. And it's so organic and it takes so much time, just like raising a child is the same as raising a business. They don't just come out and start walking and running and go to college. And so it is the same. I've been blogging weekly since December, actually January 1st, probably. The website was born on Christmas Day, but my first blog, I think, was actually in January. Here we are almost at the end of July. It is just now gaining traction and getting attention. So it's been a very organic process.
And you're absolutely right. It takes time and it takes consistency. The biggest challenge that people run into is, especially when it comes to things like a blog, is you've got to be consistent in presenting your content. If you're not presenting content on a regular basis, somebody else is. And that other person will start to overtake you in exposure. And, you know, it's all part of the Google algorithm, right? So when you're looking at a subject, the most recent information will come up sooner in the search list. So you want to always be consistent in the fact that, hey, you know, even if it's once a month, If you only post once a month, that's okay, but do it once a month. Don't do it 1 month and then wait 4 months and do another one. It's just not gonna be a long-term value for you. So what else? What other questions do you have just in general about media? I can talk a little bit about the AZTV stuff if you're interested. So AZTV Channel 7, we struck a partnership with them, and it allows members to schedule an interview with one of their on-air personalities. And it's about a 5-minute segment, and they usually air it in the morning. So it's part of their little morning show that they do, the Daily Mix. And it's a great way for you to sit down, and I think Brad's one of them, and Pat McMahon's one of them that will sit down with you if you want. But it's a great way for you, same type of thing as like it would be with Mesa Morning Live. It's just an interview. They just talk to you about your business. Golden Goose has done one. I've actually done one for the publishing business. Connie Bunyard just did one for Use My Guy Services. I'm trying to think of who else has done one. There's been a few now. There's been a bunch. But again, it's a great way. They YouTube it, so the video's out there for you to embed in your site. It's a great reference to say, hey, I was on TV. Here's the video. What's that, Pam? Oh, okay. Sorry. So that's another option. Like and they give a discount on the first one to chamber members. So. All right. I mean, any other questions out there on?
Sean has a question.
What is the?
So Sean, it's one. Sean, I'm going to put a number out there, and I don't know for certain if this is the most accurate number, but I think it's 165. I think. Let me make sure of that and send it to you on email, because I don't have this sheet in front of me to know, but I think I want to say 165. But I'll find out. I'll send it to you. I'll email you.
Can you email all of us with that, please?
I will, absolutely. I think I've got a flyer for it, so I'll send you guys.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Thank you.
What else? What else you got? What else you want to know? We do all kinds of, like, in addition to all of this stuff, so all the stuff that you've seen on the PowerPoint, if you're following our social media, we do a ton of other media too, right? We'll grab somebody at Small Business Saturday, we'll just shoot a video with them, or we're producing an awful lot of media on a regular basis, which goes back to that whole thing about being a fire hose. Because we really want to make sure that we're engaging membership and giving membership the exposure that they deserve, right? So you're going to always see, whether it's, Sally doing a selfie video, or, me jumping into Gotham Comics and, looking at a comic and shooting a video of that, or whatever that is. That's a way for you to even organically just be a part of those videos, is just engage in those events. So when we go to Small Business Saturday, we'll walk downtown and we'll shoot video in front of different stores downtown. If you're a part of that, if you come and join us on that Small Business Saturday, you're in the videos. Right. So you're getting some of that video exposure because you're participating in the fun of the event. So, there's always that kind of content as well. And then, of course, the pictures and everything that we do at the events. Yvonne took some great pictures. If you guys were at Taste of Mesa on Tuesday, his gallery is up, and Marcus is going to post a link to it here today. But you can see all the people that attended. Of course, that's another great way to get some media out for yourself, because you can share those pictures and say, hey, our business was at Taste of Mesa for the Mesa Chamber of Commerce this week, and we did this. And, so it's another great way for you to leverage the media and the content that we create to promote your business. So on that
Where can we find that gallery?
Check the Facebook page, I'm guessing.
Yes, or Ivan Martinez.
Yeah, it's a little convoluted to get directly to it.
It is.
So
It will be posted on the Facebook today. So it'll be on our Facebook page today.
yeah, and it'll go right to the whole gallery, so you'll see all the pictures from Tuesday night. And we do that
Awesome,
for.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We do that for Taste of Mesa. We do that for Mesa Morning Live. There's always a picture gallery that we do for those events, so that those members can get those pictures and share them out. Same thing with like Aviation Fascination. We take a lot of pictures at Aviation Fascination, and you can actually go and share those pictures. So you can say, here's my business at Aviation Fascination. And, you know, we had a great time talking to people about airplanes and talking to people about insurance or whatever. And, you know, it's again, it's another way to leverage content that we're creating to promote your business. So. Very good, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow is Marcus, so be nice to him and ask him lots of difficult questions.
Yeah, you don't have to be nice to me. Bring it
Save
on.
all the difficult questions for tomorrow because he's ready for you.
Yep, I got it all planned out.
Thank you so much, guys.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sticking. I know most of you guys have stuck with us all week, so thank you for doing that. All right, see you guys in the morning.
Yeah, see you.
Bye, thank you.
I'll get you a Zoom link later today.
Stay connected to Mesa Chamber social media, email newsletters, Monday morning message, and mesachamber.org to always know what's happening at your Mesa Chamber.